Think we are live now. As I bump the microphone, as always, I think my friend Simony is in the building. Simony, let me see.
I
You're
hope.
trying the first
Am I
time.
in the building?
You are in the building.
Yay!
Ever we're trying a restream, dual stream. This is
This is
cool.
a trip.
What are you using right now?
Um, when you say what am I using, what do you mean?
Like, are you on your phone, your laptop? I have no
Oh,
idea
I'm
how this
actually on the
works.
computer. I'm on the computer this time. Like I
Okay.
was able to get to a certain point on my phone, but I was like, let me try it on the computer. It could be
Yeah.
more official. Yeah.
Now this is awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna play around a little bit. Okay. We're gonna just have some fun and be like nerdy while we
Yay.
see if anybody comes in. Okay, so first, people are
I'm
watching on
down.
replay though. So what we're doing
Okay.
now is a Ask Me Anything. We are in God and Gigs, the Facebook group. We are in, I think, YouTube as well. LinkedIn was acting crazy, so I shut that off. That's why it was taking me forever because it was fighting me. But
Gotcha.
we're also live on Twitter, I believe. So we got 3 streams going now. And this is, I know, right? Look at this. So if you're not familiar with God and Gigs and you're watching this later, my name is Alan C. Paul. I'm a creative coach, musician, and author. Over, let's see which way I'm pointing. This way. Over there is, well, let me let you introduce yourself since you are
Well,
just the
who am I
magnanimous and the
really?
speaker and the actor. So I should not speak for you. You speak for yourself.
Okay, that's well. Hi, everybody. My name is Simony Hugie. I also go by Sim Renee. Um, I dabble in a few things. I dabble in some acting here and there, and some writing, and some one-on-one coaching for anyone who wants to build on the foundations for acting or public speaking. Yeah,
There
and
you
I'm also a wife and mommy. So just in case you hear anybody in the background, that is most likely the little one. So there.
Yes, yes, yes. So Simony is our ambassador to our membership group 360. It is really, really cool to have her. Like, this is our first time trying this, so forgive us. We literally just said, you know what, we're going live. We're going to throw caution to the wind. We don't know what's going to happen. She did, I didn't plan. I said, hey, you going to show up? She like, I didn't see your response. I'm just like, turned it on and you were here. So,
I got
so
like
like,
two, three responses of like, maybe.
I'm like, whatever, we'll see. I don't know. We'll find out when I turn this thing on. Sure enough, she's like, boom. So, but let me be real clear that, as you can see below in the ticker, we do have a podcast called the God and Gig Show. That's one of the things we do. We do all of this to help creators, musicians, authors, creative freelancers, entrepreneurs, anybody inside the arts and entertainment space to build better creative lives from the inside out. And we help you solve your temporary creative problems with timeless spiritual solutions. And that's why we're here. Yes, this is a faith-based progress and project, but we don't keep things inside the 4 walls of the church. We go wherever God calls us to go. And so today, like I said, is all about ask us, me and Simony, anything about starting an online project, an online business, getting it off the ground. Now, for the no, one day. So it's been that we've been talking about this with the flip lifestyle thing, right? So
Mhm.
ours for the last days has been on people who start grow businesses, and we in the creative space, look, most times we get discipline with the battle. That why it was so that we were going to jump into. I just got my wheels going. And see me okay? See my here, but
Mm.
you tell me you can still hear everything. Okay, guys. It's gonna connection issues. To get back on as quick as we can. 100%. See, are we back? Are we back? Sam, let me see if I can get you back. Let's turn this other stuff on.
Okay, let me turn this down though.
If you can hear us over there, everybody, just go ahead and put something in the chat so that we're back live. I'm going to turn some of this other stuff off. I feel like we might have added too much at once.
Okay.
All right, wait, are we back
I have
yet?
it on something else too, just in case. I mean, it sounds like it. It looks like it.
Get you back.
Mm.
All right, guys, I apologize again if you had trouble with that last couple of minutes of us trying to get all that together. I still see that we're live. So I'm going to continue to go. Hopefully we'll get Sim back in a second because we got a good start with that. And then everything just started to hang up on my computer. So I apologize once again. I can see that my computer is running really hard. It's really struggling right now. So maybe that's part of the reason why we're having issues. So I might have to just try to get my computer to calm down a little bit and relax and not try to do everything at once. And if we can do that, we'll be back on side. But as you can hear me, what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and keep telling you all these background things are running. What we were trying to do today, we were just talking about starting an online business and trying to start one and what you have to do to start one. And then you could ask any questions you have about that. I saw someone, Facebook user, earlier in the chat. You might have got lost. Let me know if you are watching in the group. If you're watching in the group, you can also chat, but just make sure we know your name because we can't see your name there. All right. I think you're back.
Okay. Yes.
And I'm not going to touch anything else because the computer is clearly like, you did not tell me I was going to be doing all this. All right. So let's just go jump in. All right. So
Okay.
first thing, for those people who might be watching, all right, Simon, I want you to help me out as I try to address this question. The first question I remember us dealing with, even the Flip Lifestyle membership thing, was how do I get an idea? What is my idea? How do you get something that like you actually know is worth even trying? Because again, we're creatives. You're singing, you're acting, I'm performing.
Hmm.
Big difference between saying I play piano, I sing, I act, and I have a singing business. I have a acting business. I have a performance
Very
music.
true.
So like I'll just ask you, like for you, when you started, like how did you know that like what you were doing was like worth like starting? Because you started Simrene Rights, you started like an acting coaching program, like you started it, but how did you know that was even going to like even worth like people would give you money for it, right? Like how was that for you?
Hmm. Oh goodness. It usually just starts with testing. And I mean, you already know I've done so many of the challenges for regarding gigs. It's all about like actually doing like something small first and testing it, which was something I was trying not to do, as you know. So I remember with the creative income challenge, you were just like, hey, start with something small and then test it and then see if it works, see if there's an audience for it. And it was the same thing with this. It's okay, I know this is what I do. These are the things that, I'm passionate about. These are the things that I enjoy. Is there an audience for it? Is there a need? Things of that nature. And as we learn, like, what's the problem and do I have the answer for that problem?
Yeah.
So, once I kind of figured that out, I was like, hey, okay, there may be people who actually need the assist, they need the extra push as far as helping them with fundamentals for coaching, as far as like the acting and the public speaking. And then the writing, it was just, hey, I'm just going to pour my heart out in a blog and hopefully it's relatable and people
Yeah,
are
but
reading.
but
So that was
but here's
huge.
here's the thing. I'm going to pull up a chair because now I just feel like we're talking, right? So here's the
Hmm.
thing, right? Um, when you say that, oh well, hopefully people will like listen and watch it, right? Or
Hmm.
be. I mean, the first thing that Shane talked about in the challenge was things that like that you love, that you live, like you went through, right? The things that like, and then
Yes.
if you went through something like your devotional is just coming out is about some personal stuff, right? So
Right.
you know right away that you're not the only person that ever went through that. Like
Hmm.
you know there's other people who have had to deal with family issues, with mommy issues, daddy issues, right? Like, how do I manage my faith and all this? And so it's like the
Right.
first thing I remember we talked about, and again, for those of you who are watching, you might be thinking right away, like, okay, well, yeah, I have a great idea, but how do I know? Somebody just said it. You have to test it. God and Gigs, when I first started it, I think that my test was my blog. So I literally had like no followers. I think it was called Jesus and Jazz back then.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, like this is way back. This is back. Okay, let me go back even further. This is again when we talked about story time. Remember, this is where we get to
Hmm.
practice what we just learned in this challenge. So I remember when I wasn't even doing blogs about music, I was just kind of blogging about music ministry. And I was like really haphazard about it. I was like, oh, we sang this Sunday. And this is blogs was like nobody was, I mean, people were reading blogs back then, but like, again, same things, podcast and like YouTube today, it was the same thing. Like people had these massive blogs and people had
Hmm.
thousands and thousands of people watching and listening or reading. I had nobody, but I went ahead and posted something like, okay, first it was homeschooling, and then it was like, okay, music ministry, but I was just dabbling, right? And so I
Right.
think the first time it was like, oh, wait, there might be an audience for this because I knew there were a lot of ministers of music, but I didn't know much about the gigging side. So the first time, like, I was like, oh my gosh, this might be like a thing. Is I wrote this blog post called "The 5 Excuses Musicians Make at Every Rehearsal." Right. So I was
Hmm.
literally, this is, remember, nobody's reading. I have like maybe 3 or 4 followers, maybe. And I'm just like writing randomly. By that time, I changed the name to God and Gigs. And so I wrote this post expecting nothing. I was like, I'm so sick. It was something that annoyed me, right? It was something that emotionally moved me. I was so sick and tired of musicians making excuses at every rehearsal. And I remember the
Yeah.
rehearsal. It was at Theory Spot. It was at Theory Spot. And somebody at this rehearsal was like, oh, well, I only play in C and, I didn't get the charts. And, and I was like, I want to just punch this guy in the throat so bad. But Christians aren't supposed to punch people in the throat. Like, We can flip tables, but we're supposed to turn you the cheek. We're not supposed to punch them. Right. And so I was like, I can't stand these excuses. And I went home and I wrote the 5 excuses every musician makes at rehearsal. And again, expecting like, okay, maybe a few people reading, whatever. But I'm like, that Joker got 35,000 hits in like 24 hours. And I was like, what the heck?
Wow.
It was validation. And you know what most of the comments were? It was, here's the other thing. And by the way, Facebook user, who this is, and when you go through who is this to see who this is, let us know who you are. When you go through, you're able to help others digest or go through. That's good. Tell us your name, please, because we need your name. If you're in the group, tell us your name because Restream
It
acts
looks like
crazy.
it's Keisha. I hope I'm saying that right.
Is that Keisha?
I want to say it's Keisha.
Yeah,
If
it's
I'm
only
saying
5.
it wrong, I apologize.
No, yeah, but put your name in because as you can see, we only see Facebook user here because the group blocks your name. Yes, it is Keisha. What's up, Keisha? Yes. Okay, so you know this about, okay, if y'all don't know who Keisha McFarland is, Keisha's my friend. Okay, she's my friend. She's not your friend. She's everybody's friend. Okay, sorry, Keisha. You're everybody's friend. But she she knows what we're talking about. So I was the rehearsal thing because she's a singer, she's a performer, she's a creative, she's been all over the world. So you know, Keisha, that's this battle, right? I was so tired and I wrote this blog and then everybody started commenting. And what happened is people comment on both sides. Some were happy that I wrote it and some were mad. And that's another thing that will tell you have a good idea is that your good idea is not for everybody. Your best idea is the ones that get some people excited and get other people like really annoyed or like, why are you doing that? Like it needs to evoke a reaction of some sort.
That's
like
true.
The one we saw on the Flip Lifestyle campaign, the one with the military guy. Remember the guy that was military? Yeah. And he was like, people kept telling him, you shouldn't be selling stuff to military people. These are our veterans. You shouldn't be selling stuff to them because they're, and he's like, that's okay because you're not my audience and you're not my customer. But these people over here, they will buy this thing from me because I'm helping them to advance in the military. So I'm not going to be shy about selling this to the military folk that need, like, I think it was advancing like a career or something like that. Right. So that's the first thing, like testing it. So something you said around the back, like we have to test and you cannot be. And by the way, when I mentioned Shane over and over again, guys, we're talking about Shane of Flip Lifestyle. He's the guy that helped me build my business, the 360 group, the group I already had. I'm always very transparent. I had a membership before I joined Flip Lifestyle, but then afterward, like, it was like, oh my gosh, my mind exploded. Like, this is what I've been doing. And so then I had 2 memberships instead of 1. And like everything we're doing right now is because Flip Lifestyle taught me how to do the business side and actually monetize the creativity. So that's at godandgigs.com/flip your life. So if you want to check that out, the deadline of that is tonight at midnight Pacific, okay? Pacific, not specific, Pacific time.
Yes.
Hey, I gotta be clear about it.
Somebody
Okay?
needed help.
Be like, oh, he said specifically 12 o'clock. No, I said Pacific.
Pacific.
Yeah, California, IA knows how to party. All right. Anyway, so oh Lord, I know this is a bit. Well, I'm glad we're going live. I'm glad this is not recorded forever because people be like, these folks are crazy.
I know, right? But it's okay. Somebody needs it though, so they need to be crazy.
So if we're talking good, just put in the chat. Hey, this is good. Hey, this is good. And then ask your question too, because again, some of you might be watching later. We catch this before midnight. We can come back in the comments and answer your question. So if you're watching this later, you're like, hey, I couldn't catch it at 5:30. Come back. So starting your idea has to be testing, and you have to be willing to put up with people who say you shouldn't be done. And then here's the big thing, Simone. Will people pay you money? We did this in the Create Your Income Challenge, right? Like just a $5 sale, like getting something. Like if you're a musician, it's probably like that first project, or maybe like your devotional, like that first PDF, and you're like, all right, it's not done, the song's not done, the video's not like perfect. You got to start ugly. Like you have to start ugly. I know your first draft of your book was not like the best. My first draft of the book was like trash. and you still have to sell it. Like you have to see if people will buy it. That's the thing I think most creators struggle with. Am I right? Like, tell me if I'm right, Sam, and you're helping me with
That's
this.
the truth. That's the truth.
We all get
The
annoyed with
truth.
someone else. Ooh, that's good.
No,
Is
but
that
that's
Keisha?
true. Keisha,
Yeah.
yep, that's the truth right
Yeah,
there.
we get annoyed when someone else puts a mirror up. So our projects and our businesses are really like, ooh, this is good. Okay, Keisha, look. All right, this is exciting. All right, you
Oh,
know how this gets
there we
lit
go.
up. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
She said, we all get annoyed when someone else puts a mirror up. You know what your business is? Your business is a reflection of you,
Oh,
right?
it's getting good today.
Your
Come on.
business is a
Mm-hmm.
reflection of you. So now that doesn't mean everything you do in your business has to be like, oh, personal brand, it's all me. Like, no, your business can be totally separate. I could run a business that has nothing to do with my personal brand, but still like it speaks its own language, right? So my business speaks a
Mm-hmm.
language. My business says, this is what I sell. This is what I'm about. This is who I serve, blah, blah, blah. So your business that's why corporations, like even in IRS, your corporation is considered an entity.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just they don't consider it like, oh, this is like a brick and mortar piece of brick. They literally consider it a person. A corporation can be sued because a corporation represents an actual person, even though
Yeah.
technically it's not you. So when you start an LLC, you literally created another person to take the burden and the risk away from you. All right. So that's why everybody says, oh, start an LLC, start an S corp. Why? Because that way you are now not the person that's being sued. Now your corporation is the person that's being sued if you ever get sued. But that's a whole nother business training. So my
Mm-hmm.
point is, we get annoyed when you get something else. But so your business will both attract people who look like you, who want to be like you, who want to buy what you want to buy, who want to be like you want to be. They want to be like Sim. They want to be able to write books. They want to be able to act. They want to be able to like speak. They want to do that stuff. They want to be like her. But then people who don't want to be like her are gonna be like, no, that ain't my thing. And that's exactly what we want. Not everybody that drinks Coke wants Pepsi, and not everybody that wants Pepsi drinks Coke. And Coke and Pepsi are perfectly okay with that. Like T-Mobile wants Sprint to be like, not Sprint, then they merge, but AT&T. Like I know all of them are merging.
Mm-hmm.
But like competition is a good thing. Oh, talk about that. Talk about the competition thing. Because I just remember that. Got all this was in the challenge. All these videos, y'all,
Yes.
again, are in the godandgeeks.com/flip. You got about 5 hours to still watch this, depending on when you're watching this. You got like 5 hours to watch any of these training. Maybe you won't get through all 8 hours of the training, but it's worth checking out. And then also buying the course, buying the membership. They got two choices. They got a $49 tier that's for easy. It's very affordable. And then they got some super coaching packages that most people make their money back within the first 60 days of starting the coaching program with Shane. So check that out before midnight Pacific. But yes, Sam, talk about that. How the competition thing, like that lesson that he taught about how competition is actually a good thing. Like, did that
Yeah,
hit
like
you at
we
all?
actually, yeah, like actually look. I mean, you don't actually want to look and see who else is doing it, but it makes sense. You want to know that there's a demand for it. So of course you want to actually search to see if there's actually, for example, acting coaches or creative coaches that are helping other creatives. That you have to do the work and look to see, are there other people doing what you are doing, and if there are, actually looking to see, do they have advertisements? Like, are they coming up? Like, what comes up online when you search? Or if they actually have materials or courses or books or whatever, okay, what's coming up when you actually do the search? And Shane was just like, hey, be specific, be broad, be whatever. Just see if what you want to do actually exists in the world. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was out there. But that made me
Did you
nervous
do it?
too, because I'm
You
like,
did. So you did. So you
okay,
did that. You did,
I did.
but you did the
I did.
exercise though.
I
So,
did the
so tell
exercise. I
me,
went
okay, so
through it.
again, this is great. And this is free, by the way. Everything that we're talking about is both in the Flip Lifestyle Blueprint, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also free. So, I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, well, we don't want to tell you what happened in the challenge. Like, we're telling you what happened in the challenge because this is free. You can hear this on my podcast. You can hear this on Shane's podcast. You can hear this on Indy's podcast, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
what you said just now was that you were a little scared when you went on Google. Just kind of describe what you did. You went on Google and you typed like what? Like, what did you search for?
Yeah. So I actually did like acting coaches. I mean, that's primarily what I focus on as far as the coaching. So I was like, okay, are there like acting coaching near me or acting coaches like in general, just to see what would come up. And and as soon as I actually typed in acting coaches, everything came up. So it was like near me, um, online classes, like pretty much everything that would fall under acting coaching and like who's offering what, whether it's like in person or online sessions or whatever. So I was just like, okay, people are doing this. So
But that's the key. People are doing this, which means people are making money
mhm,
doing it.
yes,
And you know, and I know that if they're making money doing it and they're still searching for customers, that means they're customers to be found. And that means if they haven't found them yet, and they are number two, remember the mirror thing, Keisha, this is so good. It's
hmm
a reflection of you, which means certain people are looking for like they want to see
yeah,
themselves in you. Like they looked at a mirror at another acting coach, right? And they're like, this one makes me look
hmm
fat. Like they're like, it's not. I'm for real
not the
though.
most
Like I said,
flattering.
I'm just like, right, not flat. That's it. Like this doesn't fit me well.
Right.
So I need an acting coach, but this one is not quite what, like Golden Glass, right? This was too, hot. This was too cold. Just right. So you have
Exactly.
to like be that option along all those other options and not be afraid of being the person. It's like, yeah, there's 6 other options. I'll tell you my genres. Music, number one. Golly, music can make you feel like competition is a bad thing. But like, I'm glad there's other jazz pianists and I'm glad there's other musicians. I can't take all these gigs. Number one. Number two, nobody sounds like me. I want to be different from the other guy, and I want the other guy to be different. So I don't. So they have. So my sound stands out because his is different. Like if
Right.
he wasn't playing, my sound wouldn't stand out, right? But I need like that other guy to
Mhm.
sing or play a different way because that way my sound has something to delineate from. So I need like other people playing and performing in different styles so that mine actually has a place to live. Like I need that, right? So I
Right.
think the competition side where creators get so messed up is like, like you said, like, I don't want to be try to push myself above it. Like, no, like go
hmm
go in a supermarket. The most annoying thing is you go in your supermarket and you'll see one brand and all the other brands are like sold out. You're like, well, I
So you
have a
only have
choice.
this one. Yeah.
Right. We only do this. Like, no, like that's the way it has to be. I appreciate this. I see kids. This is good. I appreciate that. So, all right. So we talked a little bit about the question of competition. We talked about idea. Now we kind of have to talk about the next side, which is the nuts and bolts. Like, okay, like how do you actually like sell something? How do you actually get something to sell? And so one thing that Shane said that I did, and I think a lot of people have a question about is how do you get that first website? How do you actually collect money? Like that
hmm
whole thing. Like that is like a serious, serious struggle for a lot of us. So tell me, Sim, how did you set up your first thing of like actually collecting the bag? Like security, like
Oh my goodness.
what was it? Was it PayPal? Was it, you know what I mean? Like, because that's the next thing. It's like
Yes.
we're talking about online business. You don't have a business until you sell something, and you can't sell something if you can't take somebody's money.
hmm
So what was your thing that like, okay, hey, this is how I'm going to like set this up so that I can actually like make this into a business and collect money for my services.
Right. So I'm just going to be completely transparent. I didn't start with like a site or anything when I initially started. I'm like, let me just throw this out here really quick and just ask people like, hey, so I know you do, or I know that someone might be interested in X, Y, and Z. I offer this. Would you be interested? Made some flyers to share. Shout out to Canva real quick because they came through and and Cash App. That's how I collected the payment. So it was about having the idea and then seeing if anybody was interested. And then it was like having flyers just to kind of promote and then collecting it through Cash App until we finally had like a one-stop shop, like website. You can place your order for X, Y, and Z here, and then it collects the payment that way. So, I looked official after
You
the
looked
fact.
official, but no, but you know what you said? I don't mind borrowing from everybody because all the gurus are basically saying the same thing, right? And the reason why I
Hmm.
connect with Shane again, because Shane is like was speaking my language, God first, family focused, entrepreneurs, people that did it
Right.
my, right way. So I loved him. But another lady I like, her name is Jerisha Hawk, and she keeps talking about this lean launch. Like you did the lean launch. She's like, you do not need a big old website to start collecting payments. You need a PayPal account, a Cash App. Boom. That's it. Hey, you want me to do this thing? Pay here. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
Like literally, like right now. Here's the part where, like I said, like this is where I'm borrowing from other people. Even when Shane talks about building a membership, if you can find one person to pay you $50 a month, you can find 100 people to pay you $50 a month,
Right.
and that's $60,000 a year. Like that's a full-time income. Boom. If you find 100 people, you're making $120,000 a year. So 100 people. Sorry, did I do the math right? 100 people. So 100 people paying $50 a month is 50. Yeah, $5,000 a month. Right. So 60. Yeah, got it. Okay. So
Hmm.
you double 200. 200 is 120. So
Okay. Gotcha.
right. So here's the thing. Those people could pay you $50 a month if you just said, "Hey, I'm going to do a Zoom call once a month on acting. Pay me this Cash App, and I'll show up and I'll send you the Zoom link." And here's the thing that people don't get. People are like, "Oh, I got to make the service first, and then they'll pay." Right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Tell me the last time that you like I'm trying to think of services where we're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not going to pay for this until like you make it. And then I'll pay." And we think like we're like a hamburger joint, right? Like even the hamburger joint, they take your money first.
They really do.
They take your money first,
And
yo.
then give you
They're like
afterwards.
they're
Yes.
whole like
Yes.
creatives. Stop thinking you have to make the stuff. No, like I'll make it when you pay me.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, it is so darn
That's it.
simple.
That's it.
I'll make it when you pay me. So pay me because I have expertise, I have knowledge, deposit, whatever
Hmm.
you want to call it, right? And then I will come and I will give you the service that you paid for. And then you can do a money back guarantee. If you don't like it, I give you your money back, right? You can do that because that's
Hmm.
called risk reversal. So now you take on they say, "Oh, I'm taking on the risk because I'm about to pay you this $100 or I'm going to buy your $1,000 coaching program. I'm going to make it $1,000. But why? Because my time is worth $1,000 to take away from my family. Right.
Right.
And you know stuff right now. So it doesn't matter whether you make $100 product or $1,000 product. You know something right now that someone else needs. And so you're like, okay. And someone's like, "Oh my God, it's $1,000." I was like, yeah, because I'm about to give you $1,000 worth of value. And then
Right.
it's like it's now, but you can say, "Hey, and if you don't like it within 60 days and you do the work, then I'll give you the money back, or I'll stay with you 2 more months until we get it done." And you just make it like, see what I'm saying? So now it's like, "Oh, well, no, this is not on you because you're charging. This is on me because I'm scared to do the work." Or in music, I'm scared that, I don't really want the quality that I want. I think I want the quality that I want, but
Hmm.
now I realize it costs something. So
It's gonna
now I'm like,
cost. Yeah.
so now I'm backing off of it. Right. So I'm just saying what really matters is, and by the way, if you like this, I see y'all watching. We got 3 viewers. So if y'all watching, y'all need to go ahead and ask a question for us. We're going to be answering these questions up till 6:30. It's already 6:08. Oh my gosh, the time flew so fast. All right.
Hmm.
So remember, guys, the deadline for the Flip Your Life discount on the coaching. If you want to check out any of those replays, they're only there till midnight. Literally, right now, I guess as of this is 6 o'clock Eastern. So what time is it in California? Is that 3?
It's
So
like
you got
3 hours.
3 hours. So if you're watching this live, you only got like you got like 9 hours. Got 9 hours to watch and to buy those programs. Okay, so yeah, what I really feel like we've learned in all of these things is you don't need a lot of website. Now, if you do want a website, there is a thing. Did you get the Kajabi?
I did it.
Okay, I was thinking about maybe you might. No, it's okay because it's free. I mean, it's a free service. So there's
Yeah.
Teachable, guys. There's Teachable if you're doing courses. There's obviously, for people selling products, Shopify, but we're not talking about Shopify selling physical products much, like because that's a lot of work, right?
Hmm.
And plus, by the way, tip, If you want to do merch, you don't have to make the stuff anymore. You can just go to a thing like Spreadshop, Redbubble, T Public, and they'll make the shirts like individual shirts for you, and then they'll just ship it out, and you never have to have any merch. Like buy the merch first.
Oh,
Yes, you can have the merch design and everything, and nothing. You get all you do is just you collect the payments. That's it. See, there's so much to this. Anyway, my point
no, but
is
Alan, really quick, like,
yeah.
for you too, because I mean, you've been in this like a minute, and of course, I've only seen you in on this end, right? Like, to
Mhm.
go through the site, select plan, blah blah blah. But was it the same thing for you? Did you go in the official way, like you had everything set up, and then you collected payment,
That's a great
or
question. I, mm, how did I collect first? I think the very first, I mean, obviously music, I was just PayPal, like, Cash App, pay me the check, right? So that was like literally like time for money. So like, yeah, I play, you pay. So yeah, that was just Cash App and stuff. The first time I did a product was probably the book, and the book, um, I set it up on Amazon. So Amazon technically was like my first place to pay. Now I'll tell you some other things that were really cool though. I also advocate for ConvertKit, right?
Mhm.
ConvertKit has a thing where you can make the products right in the mailing list, and and it makes, and it's a product place. So I was also selling $5 PDFs. So here's the thing that really helped. What I eventually did is I did the official thing. The most official thing I did was sign up for Stripe. You know what Stripe is? Wait, think about frozen. No? Okay,
I've heard of
so
that one.
Stripe is like the one of the official payment processors that like 80, 90% of online businesses use. So basically what
Mm,
Stripe is a credit card processor. So a lot of these things will have you sign up for Stripe, but you don't have to be like huge corporation to sign up for Stripe. You just sign up for Stripe.
okay.
Stripe then starts to work with all these other third-party things, including like, let me think what it works with Stripe. Gosh, so like everybody. So all the different websites, you could just set up your little website and then say, hey, pay me here. And Stripe will do it through PayPal, through all the credit cards. Like it will set up.
Okay.
So even when I did my thing on ConvertKit, it goes through Stripe. So I already had an account in Stripe. Stripe has also allowed me to get my my payments from Keep the Music Playing. So Keep the Music Playing went through Ticket Tailor. Ticket Tailor was like my website for like the tickets, right? But Ticket Tailor wanted
Mhm.
me to have a Stripe account. But since I had a Stripe account already, it was easy. I just put my bank account stuff in there. Boom, 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 boom. They pay for the ticket. Boom, money goes to my account.
Got it.
So yeah, so having a Stripe account, like even the most basic, because it's free. They're making money off people who pay. Again, guys, think about this. Think about the fact that credit card companies, all they do is just give you a route to pay, and they get paid. Like they're literally like just making a website, and they're getting paid because they're helping you transfer money. So Stripe is free. To be a member of Stripe costs you nothing. You just join Stripe.
Mm.
You set up like, and again, it just depends on like what you're going to be linking it to, right? But it links to all these different sites. You have an account there, and then like once you create a product, you say, "Oh, go through here," and then you can pay through any credit card. Again, remember Cash App, all the things. So that was like my official. That was when I realized like I was a business, because
Okay.
I set up my Amazon. My Amazon got paid. Put my bank account there. Money comes through Amazon. Obviously, you can pay me directly through PayPal. So I set up a PayPal link, PayPal.me,
Mhm.
and got in gigs. So people can pay me that way. And I set up invoices there. So there was like 2. 3 was Stripe. That was the major one. That was like, oh, wow. Like now I have like 4 different income streams that could literally go through Stripe. ConvertKit, Mighty Networks, all of my memberships go through Stripe. I told you about Keep the Music Playing. Um, Shoot, there's like 3 more. Sing Swing goes through
Yes.
Stripe. So again, like the point is that I want to get like deep into the woods of like, credit card processing. My point is that it didn't take a website to do that. I did not have to build, right? Like I built the individual pieces for each thing that needed it. So if I needed a music website, I built just enough that would get what is the least minimum viable way to get money. Do that. What do people need to see to believe that you will do the product or you will provide the service? Do that and then take the money. Don't
Hey,
do anything else to make it pretty. me, and oh, I need the thing, I need my photo, I need to that, and you guys stand there like, ooh, like I need the photo shoot. Like, no, put up something that
True
people can
though.
pay with,
Yeah.
and then say, pay me, and then I will do the thing that I said I will do, but then do it with excellence because we are Christians and we
Mhm.
believe in doing excellence, and we don't defraud people, right? So this is not, oh my gosh, like I love this stuff. All right. Um, there's so much so much we can get into. Like when I do it, then I realize, oh my gosh. Okay, so remember, guys, those of you who are watching, this is literally like time sensitive. Flip Your Life
Mhm.
is where we learned all this. There's 8 hours. Sim and I were both at like 8 hours of training. It might be too late for you to watch all 8 hours unless you just binge the entire thing. It's free. But the programs we're talking about, I'm a member of Flip Your Life. I've been a member since 2020. I was on Shane Sam's podcast. He sold over $10 million worth of digital products as a school teacher from Kentucky. Learned how to do this. And we're not talking about people from Kentucky. We're not, but we're just saying, he says it. He's like, if I can learn this
Yeah.
from Kentucky, then anybody can learn it. Like for real. Like if he could, like, no
Yes.
training, master's degree in education, sure, but no business training. Like he doesn't have an MBA.
Right.
And then like people like me has no business training. Like I'm a music educator. Sim, you smart, but you've never gone to business school.
No business school.
No business school. So that's
No
what I'm
business.
saying. Like, so these business concepts, creators, we have to stop acting like we can't do this stuff. So, all right.
Yeah.
So we talked about the idea. We talked about, there's so many different, we can't get through all the entire challenge. I'm just trying to pick like questions that people ask. So we said they need to get up a website, not a website, any way to pay, the easiest way to pay.
Right.
And it doesn't require a big website. Idea, we said that you need to test something. It needs to be something that kind of relates to you, but it also should be something that other people are making money doing. Like the ads you see, if you see people doing ads, that was another thing we learned. If people are doing ads, that means that they are spending money to find your customer. So if you see an ad for something, it's a good thing. You could enter that same space, but do it different. I always say this: don't copy the product, copy the process. Don't copy the product, right? We're not trying to steal people's ideas. But I absolutely, today when I saw Sam, when I saw another like an influencer, not influencer, businesswoman, entrepreneur, copywriter, when I saw her web pages, I downloaded the entire web page and saved it. Am I going to copy it? No, but I'm going to follow her process. Headline, video, headline, buy button, but I'm going to copy that like verbatim. But I'm not going to copy her product. I'm not going to try to steal what she steals. I'm not going to sell what she sells. Like I'm not going to say it the way she says it. I'm not going to use her words. But that template, shoot, no, I'm using that because that joker was fire. I was like, I want to buy this now. And so you borrow.
But that's true though. Yeah, that was something else we talked about. Like it's not stealing it the way, especially if you see that it works. Like templates.
Templates, yes. And you can sell those. And that's a whole nother thing that people can sell. Like if you have, like, I'm giving you, like, we always get into coaching, Sam. So we're going to coach each other.
We kind of do.
Right, we do. Yeah. So if you want right now, if you want to like start just selling a template on, I don't know how you would do it, but like a template on how to like learn a script, right? Or how like, so it's like day one, blah, 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 blah. And then all the product was just blank lines. Just day one, learn this. And then you write in like, okay, you need to do this, learn the beginning, middle, end, blah. Day two, do this, just blank lines and shoot. And the person fills in, okay, I got to do this. Day three. And like, it's literally what's called is, it's called low content products. So you start selling things that literally just are just like journals that are blank pages, but it's got your branding. And all you're doing is giving them a template. This is how I learn my lines.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Day 1, day 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, you want this? $20 for my template. But it saves them so much time. It saves them time. So, okay, y'all, we can see you can get in the weeds here. So so we talked about idea. We talked about income.
Right there, templates. Okay,
templates. Yeah. I think but here's the thing I think I probably should do. Let me ask you this question, because this came up like in a challenge as well. The whole point of Well, we talked kind of like being scared to sell. We talked about that a little bit, but I remember the last couple of days we got into like, making sales. And he said like the one key of
Mm-hmm.
making a sale. So have you, and we're doing it now, we're practicing, like telling her. So have you ever had like that fear, like, okay, people are going to see me, they're going to see me like I'm asking for money, they're going to judge me. Like, have you dealt with that fear?
I'm well acquainted with that.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's okay
Yes,
for us to share it.
of course. I
So,
mean, that
so
was the biggest thing. I think just the idea of what if I go ahead and put myself out there and actually talk about the story behind, the coaching, the why. And then what are people going to say? Are people going to respond positively? Is it going to be something where again they like what they see in their mirror of
yes,
sorts? So it's like, oh, okay, she's cool. I'll go with her. I'll give this a try. And then sometimes it's like, I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. And that's where I think
So that
again,
was the thing.
yeah, but I feel like,
Yeah.
that's where a lot of us get stuck. And the thing I wanted to get to is that whole point of like selling is telling a story. Selling that
Hmm.
Finding Nemo piece was crazy.
So
Y'all,
good.
y'all need to go watch. Look, just go to day 4 if you don't have time to watch the whole thing. And even if you should
Day four.
buy it, like I'm being straight up with y'all, and I'll be very also need to be transparent because this is FCC rules, right? I am an affiliate of Flip Lifestyle, meaning, yes, if you buy it, do I get paid? Yes, I am literally practicing what I preach right now. This is an income generating product right now, which will make income for me. And you know what I'm getting? You know what I'm giving up to make an income for that? Nothing but my time and serving you. Literally serving my audience is what's going to pay me. And then if you buy this product, it will also get me a commission, which will help me serve more people. That's called reciprocity. That's called sowing and reaping. Okay. So, what I'm asking you to do is to sow into yourself. Go check out this program that helped me start 2 businesses and help me now get on lives like this with Sim and have like an entire community. How many people we got in the community now? Like 30, 20 something, 30 something. I think
I
it's
know
up to
we've added
30.
more people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's close to that number. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys have questions, we're going to stay on to another 8 minutes or so. Then we got to get ready for her rehearsal. We got to get the choir rehearsal.
Indeed.
Yes. But,
Oh, do you want to go
I,
over the marketing funnel thing? That was pretty cool. Like how to
ooh,
like get
ooh,
down.
gosh.
That
Okay.
was.
Oh,
Let's
they
talk
really have to
about
go. They have
it.
to go. Okay. We're going to give them a tease with that.
Okay.
This is why you really have to go watch these videos, y'all. Again, you got maybe 8 hours as of we're speaking. Got maybe 8 hours to watch any of these training. If you got to skim it, skim it. But go look at day 3. Was it day 3? So day 3 was about the marketing funnel. And so the whole point of marketing, again, something that scares creatives, right? We're like, oh no, I'm not a marketer. I sing. I don't want to be dealing with business. And the whole point,
Exactly.
like all of us as creatives, we literally every moment we create our art. It's like if a tree falls in the forest, will anybody hear it? If you create a song and nobody hears it, was it really a song? Was it really like
Right.
it's made art is made for others. Like it's not just for you to be like in your room, like unless it's a hobby and you just love it for yourself. Art is made to be shared. So my point with that is we are automatically promoters and marketers, and we're trying to attract people to see and listen and hear and feel and grow and be ministered to through what we offer, which means you got to get people in the door to watch it. So the first part of that marketing funnel was content. And that's what Sim and I are doing. Literally, Sim and I right now, again, this is why it's so crazy, it's so meta. If you were doing what we're doing right now, you would be starting a funnel. If you were doing a live right now talking about, hey, here's how I write a song. Hey, here's how I act.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, here's what scares you guys about getting that first audition. Hey, so tell me your 5 biggest issues with starting your blog or writing, or let's write together. Let's do a 30-minute, let's write together and do our first draft, because everybody knows everybody hates to do the first draft, right? So let's get together and do a co-working session, and I'll be on Instagram Live and you'll be on Instagram Live, but we're just going to make sure we get this writing done. So that would be you creating content. And literally it could be a podcast, could be a blog, could be like Sim's doing, like she's
Right.
doing with her writing, and she's doing her YouTube like that. That's content, and you just keep doing it. Now, here's the thing that I struggle with. I'll be very transparent. I struggle with the same issue I had with the blog. Nobody's watching, right? You feel like you're in an echo chamber. Nobody's watching.
Mhm.
And here's the thing that I learned from that. Okay. Nobody's watching, but you know what that means? Nobody's watching, which means you can do whatever the heck you want. Invisibility equals
Yeah.
freedom. Invisibility equals freedom. You better believe Beyonce has to go into like a hole somewhere and put a whole bunch of NDAs to be able to create something, because why? Everybody's watching. She is literally like in a bubble because she cannot create with freedom because everybody's watching all the time. Rihanna had to go disappear for 7 years and go do her fashion thing because everybody's watching. She can't just reinvent herself tomorrow and say, okay, I'm doing knitting. Like, people are like, what?
It's true.
Right? But you can.
Yeah.
You could do a knitting channel today and a cooking channel tomorrow, and just try stuff. Like you said at the beginning, Sim, testing. So
Yes.
that part is really the struggle. Like, oh, well, nobody's watching. But no, you should take advantage of it. I practice on this mic 100 times doing videos in front of like nobody. But now I'm more comfortable. And it was like those reps that made me more and more comfortable, where it's like, now if I show up, and then the second part is you don't need everybody to watch. You need your perfect customer to watch.
Right.
That's
That's it.
all. You only need the people that actually want. So if you have 10, but those 10 people are so in love with you that they were willing to be paying you $1,000 to take you to the Bahamas and teach them your thing, and we're all going to sit up in a hotel room and do our favorite thing for 10 days at $1,000 a pop, you got yourself a business. You don't need everybody. Like, we get so in the numbers. So the thing that Shane shared is that the content gets people to watch. And then from content, you go to getting them on an email list, which again, hello, email list. I promote ConvertKit. Shane talks about Kajabi, does all of it. Doesn't matter, but just get an email list. Don't be emailing from your Gmail account. Okay. Get an email account, and then you email them, and then you tell them, hey, here's something else you can get. You're on my email list. Here's this. Here's something else. Here's something else. And you just bring them down the funnel. And yes, if you join Flip Your Life, you are joining a funnel. If you go to my, I didn't even put my email thing here. See, I totally forgot.
There you go.
Yes. If you want more information about that, you need to go here, because this is where that's the best for if you want to get anything on the kind of stuff we're talking about, going full-time, guidegeeks.com/questions. What am I going to do if you go there? I'm going to send you something free. But right after that, I'm going to be like, hey, how can I help you, serve you with a product? Is there something I can do that will benefit you and bless you that you'll be willing to pay for? That's the funnel. That's marketing funnel. The content got you here. You join the website, that gets you in the door. Now you're part of a customer. You're part of our community. Now I can serve you more. Now I can ask you, like, here's the other thing, Sam. We can literally ask you, like, what do you want? Like, we won't sell you things that you don't want. You could be like, what do you really need that you would part money for? Because I'm so sick and tired of this issue. I'm going to help you solve this. For me, like I said, sometimes it's just music. It's like people have been asking me so much, like, why aren't you playing more? Why aren't you performing more? Because I don't feel like, yeah, you need to. Well, I have a demand for music that I'm not fulfilling, and clearly people are willing to give me money for it. I need to like do that, because otherwise I'm just ignoring the money, right? So that's the key, is just supply and demand. If they demand it, supply it. and then you can find yourself in the marketing again, make more content, answer questions. My 3 S's are share, smile, and serve. You got to serve someone every day, make them smile, and then share what you do. Okay, every day. That's the content model. Like, just make them smile, share something, serve them, make them smile, share, serve, make them smile, share, serve. Yeah, that's it. Seems like Jose. Oh, thank you, Keisha. Thank you. We try to keep it up. We are appreciating you so much. So once again, y'all, see, we're almost out of time. We're right at 54 minutes. We had those little issues at the top. Okay, so Sim, I said it was Ask Me Anything. I answered a couple of questions. So now I gotta back off. I'm gonna be quiet. We didn't get any questions in the chat yet. We're going to keep up the good work. Yes, thank you so much. Again, we're assuming if this is Keisha or anybody else. If you're a different Facebook user, make
yeah.
sure you say your name. But that's still Keisha. You see it?
Yep. It looks like it's Wilfredo. I'm so sorry if I'm
Oh,
messing.
that Wilfredo. What's
Yes,
up, El
I
Jefe?
found him earlier, so he came back.
Yes.
And
What's up,
then
man?
okay. Okay. Oh, Mustafa on sax. Okay.
What up, Mustafa? Okay, see,
Yes.
our people. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Our people are here. Our people who know what we're about, and this is what we're saying. Like, and guys, again, let me just tell you, I am not saying go join Flip Your Life because big money, money. It's like, this is what worked for me. I would not be doing this on Restream, streaming to 3 different platforms. Like, I had to get in you know what it is, Sim? It's the same thing with God Gets 360. It's like, once you get around other people,
Yes.
it's like, you're like, I can do that. And then you're like trying stuff and you're like, oh my God, like I could do that. And it's not even that they told you what to do half the time. It's just you start to see yourself. It's like that mirror thing that Keisha said. I'm gonna
Right.
steal that. You start seeing a mirror, but they're a mirror, and you start seeing yourself different. And you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm an entrepreneur. Oh my gosh, I am. I don't have to have 1 million followers. All right, we have a questions here. So
Yes.
can you hang on a little longer? We're literally like right on the time. Can you hang in?
Okay. Let's see what it says. So okay, so it's Mustafa on sax, but he's asking, how do you balance life, work, and your art?
Oh gosh, this is so good. Who asked the question? I didn't hear you. Did they say? Yeah, I broke you up a little bit. Dang it. Yeah. All right. What happened?
I'm still trying to figure that
Oh, you're trying to figure out the name?
out.
Okay, so put your name in the chat if you're watching, because I know. Yeah, and Sim, you're breaking up on my side. This darn connection. But
Oh no, the devastation.
I know, right? All right. Yeah, I see your connection is a little low. Hold up. Let's see. I'm not going. Oh, it's Mustafa. Okay. Got it. All right.
Yes.
So, how do I balance life, work, and your art? Wow. Oh gosh, coming with a hard question, man. Okay, I would say the first 6 is it's not balanced. I think all the podcasts we've done, Sim, every person that has said, how do you balance life, work, and art? We've all agreed balance is the wrong word. You cannot balance life, work, and art. It is musicians, artists, it's contrast. It's the rhythm, it's balance. I mean, not balance, wrong word. What's the word I'm looking for? Not balance. Was another harmony. It's harmony. Basses need more treble on the top, but they still are in what we think as a balance is not really balanced. There's only a little bit of treble. There's a whole bunch of bass. That's not balanced. It's not equal work, equal life, equal art. Your heart does not beat the same rhythm every time. It's literally adapting all the time to the speed of life that it needs. And our lives are the same way. Right now, this is getting 100% of my attention. My wife is getting 0. Like, that's not balanced.
That's true. It's true.
Right? It's not balanced. It's okay, though, because the rhythm of it is when she comes back from this fundraiser and I come back from my rehearsal, it's going to be 100% us, and it's going to be 0% work. So what I think it is at first changing the mentality and the perspective of like, I've got to have like all these jars like feel perfectly, and I have to keep them balanced all the time. And like, as soon as, and it's like Myron Golden said this. Like Myron Golden is like brilliant. Y'all look up Myron Golden, another guru that again, not everything is that he says is perfect. Like, oh, that I subscribe to everything. And when he said this, he was right. He's like, all of y'all starting your jobs, starting your entrepreneurial journey and thinking that you're going to stay balanced and you're going to see your kids all the time. It's like you're fooling yourself. At the beginning, you ain't going to see much of your family at all. At the beginning. Right, Sim? You got the baby? It's the same thing with like when you first have the kid. When you first have your kid, you're like, ain't nothing else going on but Ali showed
that
up.
part is all baby.
It's all baby. And everybody understands that. So why don't we understand that when we birth the business?
Ah, that's good.
Why don't you know that when you birth a business, it's going to feel out of balance? Because it is, because you cannot start a big boulder with a little push. It takes a huge push, and it does take a little bit of staying up late, and it does take a little bit of like the, so
Mhm.
Mustafa, to kind of answer your question, I'm kind of going around because I know it's a hard question to answer, just like one answer. But I feel personally, what I've done over the years is I've decided that the biggest rock would be my family, and then I'm going to fit everything around the family. So when I left my job at the school system, it was because my family is a higher priority, and I started to fit the art inside the capsule of the family, which means teach, sing, perform around the times that I can do that in the context of homeschooling, all that kind of stuff. And so then this
Right.
becomes okay, where does this fit inside the concept of my family? And then the little rocks of my music and my art when I perform were like, they start to find their place. But it wasn't until I decided what I call in the book, establishing your priorities. You got to establish your priority first. All right. So I hope that helped. Like that's a huge question. Again, we gotta do another
That was
podcast
it.
on that. We got a new
That was
podcast on
it.
that. Oh, we got Jay Allen in the house. All right. So Jay Allen,
Yes.
we're gonna hang in as long as we
Ooh,
can, guys. I know we gotta leave in a second, but we're gonna try to hang out.
that's a good one though.
All right. All right. From a marketing standpoint, how do you brand yourself doing different genres?
Mm.
From writing. Oh, Sim, you
Right.
want to take it? Because we talked about this.
Oh my gosh, but that's good though. I'm like, we talked about it, but I'm still trying to navigate that myself because it's like you want to have that like one particular like starting point, like have that foundation first, and then you kind of build on it from there. I'm still trying to figure it out though.
Okay, so we've had this discussion a lot. I would direct you
Yes.
to um we just had a podcast about this. I can't remember which one is like the best one. We had like three or four that have been like perfectly
Hmm.
talking about this situation, and we're gonna have a couple more. But the first way I'd answer Jay Allen is when you talk about branding yourself doing different genres. The first thing I would start with is those first two words: brand yourself. You're not trying to create a brand of writer, performer, minister. You are Jay Allen. Jay Allen is the brand. What you bring to
Hmm.
all those things does not change because of what you do. Your identity is in who you are, and the way you do it is through these different genres. So I think the first thing that we get in the problem is that we think that we have to brand the thing we do. You get Alan Paul whether you
Versus
see me
brand you.
performing, you get Alan
Mhm.
Paul whether you see me writing, you get Alan Paul whether you see me in ministry, you get Alan Paul. That that the way I do things, like somebody said this to me some one day, like really blew my mind, JL, and this might help you. They said, when I see you play, I can read your writing. And it was like, whoa.
Wow.
And what they were
Wow.
saying was there was a through line through those things. So what makes you special in your writing needs to be the same thing that comes across in your performing. So what is it about you that
Oh.
is that doesn't matter what you do? Like, does it, like if you see me show up right now, I'm trying to think of a great example. Um, like something totally opposite. Um, teaching is close. That's too close. What's something like totally opposite that I could be doing right now, I guess, in this same space? Um, if
Would the
I
podcast be different? Would that be
kind,
totally
it's
different?
basically the same thing. I'm trying to think like
Yeah.
something like totally opposite. Like let's say
Mm.
I'm mowing the lawn. I'm going to be like totally out of it, like totally out of it. I'm
Okay.
mowing the lawn. If you see me mowing the lawn, you're like, okay, this dude. But I guarantee you the way swim lessons. Okay, that's good. All right, we're gonna talk about swim lessons. Okay, so if I was doing swim lessons, the same way you see me breaking down how you should be brand will be the same. Be like, all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in the water. We're gonna test out the water because we test things out. We're gonna test it out. We're not gonna dive in right away. We're gonna do the minimum thing. We're testing water. My personality is going to come out in the way I teach swim lessons. So when I go to teach swim lessons, the first thing I'm going to say is, do you need a person that wants to guide you gently into your swimming, whatever? Are you tired of people being rah rah? You're going to become a swimmer overnight. Blah, 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 blah. Well, my approach is bump, 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 bump. Oh, and I do this through swim lessons. I'm my product. Oh, who is it? I gotta think of who said it. was it LaShonda? I want to post it as soon as I can find it. But your brand is not what you present. It's not the product. It's the way they feel. They're not McDonald. Oh, who was it? Oh gosh, I'm gonna come back to it because she said it so perfectly. It might not be in the podcast yet. She said McDonald's does not sell hamburgers. McDonald's sells happiness. They don't sell happy meals. They sell happiness. Priscilla Shumba. That was it. Go listen to Priscilla Shumba. Priscilla Shumba said McDonald's does not sell happy meals. They sell happiness. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Wow.
They sell happiness. What you're selling people and your branding is not the thing, not the writing, not the performing, the ministry. You're selling how you feel after you've consumed the product.
How you feel.
So it doesn't matter what the branding is. What you're selling is a feeling. Your brand is the feeling. Your brand is what actually comes out of them experiencing you and your business. And then after they've consumed your business, they're like, he's singing too. He writes too. He does that too. We called it in one of our master classes. We called it the hats. Everybody's like, oh, we got to do so many hats, right?
Right.
But that's okay because they're going to find one of them hats and they're going to put the first hat on and they'll be like, oh, but you got these other hats too. But you just make each hat so clearly you that it's not okay. I hope this is helping you. Let me know if this is helping, Jay Allen, because that is a great question. And once again, guys, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you get in groups like Flip Lifestyle. Okay, so we're telling you the deadline is coming up, midnight Pacific. These trainings, 8 hours of training. You're probably not gonna be able to watch all of them, but I'm telling you, the Flip Lifestyle is where you see it's coming out right now, Sim. Honestly, again, without Flip Lifestyle, I'm not doing this. I wouldn't be doing this unless I was in a group. God and Gigs 360 was my leadership. I had to be led. I had to be. Someone had to be like, do this. I'm like, really? Yes, do this. I'm like, all right. Like, so that's where I learned this stuff. 12 a.m. Pacific. There would be a coaching program there. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say these numbers because I think this will help people understand this. I used to think I shouldn't say numbers, right? Because I thought, oh, people are going to be scared. I'm going to say numbers right now. If you go there, you'll see the numbers. But the top coaching program that flipped your life is $17,000.
Yes.
Right? Now, think about this. If I say that to you, what's your reaction? Or is it, wait a minute, he has something so valuable that he is willing to price it at $17,000. If either he's crazy or it works, because you don't go out there and sell something for $17,000 unless you're getting people who will pay $17,000, and unless those people are not putting you on Better Business Bureau and calling you a scammer, but they're coming back and saying, I made back my investment in 3 months because of my advice. Okay. And I'm just being very transparent. I'm not currently a member of the high ticket program, but I've paid Shane that much over the last 3 years. Over in the middle tier. He had a membership master's program. I still have some of his stuff. Sam, we were talking about the whole marketing thing, and people are like, oh, what do I say? What do I write? What do I do? I was following, he had a membership master's website, or no, it wasn't a website. It was like a piece of paper. He mailed me a piece of paper every month. And it just had day 1, do this, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8. Put this, post this, post this, post this, post this, post this, post this. I followed that to the T. He just mailed me my calendar. I didn't have to think of marketing at all. He just said, do this. Like, and will I pay $200 a month for that? Heck yes. Because that's.
Tell me what to do.
Yes. Tell me what to do. Yes. So please, absolutely. Yes. You got a few more minutes. Okay. I know we got to go 6:45. I'm going to end up being late and then we'll be telling everybody. But okay. So any final questions, guys? This is great. And this is, again, we're going to leave this on replay, but we will probably take this down because it will make no sense to keep it up after the deadline. So if you guys have any questions, again, I will probably come back to this tonight and check it out. Sim, anything else that you want to share that like just from the challenge, from being a part of even 360? Because I know, we're not promoting 360 right now, but 360 is literally like, it's like a sister. They're like sister communities. Like I'm
Yes.
promoting Flip Lifestyle because without Flip Lifestyle, I wouldn't have gotten Gigs 360. So to me, it's like, they're like it's like sister churches, same thing. It's like, hey, you may not join one, but you might join the other. But just tell me, like, what in terms of the business side, what you've learned, especially from the challenge. Like, is there any like final things you want to make sure people hear, even as they're watching this, and hopefully they go check out the website?
Gotcha. So the main thing is, if anything else, just go for the knowledge, just because you have people with like invaluable levels of experience, just taking the time to actually say, hey, here are the things that you can do to at least get started. So just even all of the notes I have, all of the ideas that I didn't even consider before now that are, actually things I'm able to do right now. Even the whole thing with the story, I would have never even thought about, my story making a difference in how you know, I guess you can say sell things or brand myself or anything, like how important the story is. Because I mean, I didn't even realize in the beginning, Shane started with a story.
Yes,
And then we
exactly.
see how it all plays out now because the story got me. I was like, oh no, I need you to leave your job right now because that's not okay. I was
Like,
upset for him. And
what
it
are you?
happened years ago. And it was just the conviction of it. I'm like, okay, I want to be able to do that too. It's just the idea, like, hey, because of this, it's allowed you to do this. It's like, okay, I can follow that. I can do it. And just to
Yeah,
see that this is what you follow to create 360, I mean, that's huge because we've definitely gained a lot just being a part of God and Gigs 360 with all of the information and tools that we have. So to see like the sister part of it, it's just like, please go and don't miss out, at least on the information. Now, the best thing would be to actually like join and get more information just outside of the 8 hours, but at least go and just get as much as you can, especially
yeah.
since they're offering it for free.
Free
So
99.
for
See,
free.
exactly, right? And then, yeah, guys, the challenge again, those replays come down. Like Sim said, even if you take the notes, we're very transparent here. Like, we're very transparent. If this is not for you, if you just need if this particular thing that you just watched was all you needed, thank God, bless God, praise God that you got what you needed out of this. If you
Mhm.
want to see where Sim and I just got all of this, like this, these inspirations, go watch the replays. If you want to lock that in so you keep getting it, you're not trying to crash course it in the next 3 hours, then join the membership. If you want to get rocket fuel on this book, baby, to where you don't have to work 3 years, because trust me, if I signed up for coaching 3 years ago, oh Lord, you would not be able to like, I, I would be in a stratosphere had I started with the coaching. Well, I started with the
Mhm.
Flip Lifestyle Blueprint. I started at the middle level. So I would say again to everybody, go check out, like Sim said, go check out the replays as soon as possible. This particular recording, even that we're doing right now, we may keep the question part, but we're not going to keep everything. Because like we said, by Tuesday, this will be gone. The coaching will be gone. The replays will be gone. 12 o'clock Pacific time, depending on where you're watching. Some of our Miami folks are here, but you might be watching from a whole nother place. You may have less
Mhm.
time. You may have more time. I don't know when you're watching this, but please, 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 please consider it. Like Sim said, at least go get the free information. Go check out Shane. Go check out this boy from Kentucky. He and I couldn't be not more. We could not be more different. But I mean, I love Sim and I both in Metro Life. I remember somebody said, "Hey, the reason I like your church, we just plug for Metro. It's because it looks like heaven. Like it looks like all colors, all races, all kinds of stuff. And that's basically what this flip your lifestyle thing is too. All
Yeah.
colors, all races. Everybody. The only thing that unites them is, or makes them the same is love of God, family focused entrepreneurs. Boom. That's it. So if you love God, you're family focused, and you want to earn money doing what you love, then this is an awesome place to do it. But we got to run, guys. It's 6:48. We went 12, 13, 14 minutes over time. Thank you, Sam. This was all. We got to do this more often. Like we got to do this
For
inside.
real.
We got to do this inside 360 for sure.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that later. They can all find that later on, and then we'll do more of these because these are fun, man. This is cool.
Thanks for allowing me to be on. This was cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, quick, put your stuff in. Sim Renee, where do they find you? They want to find you.
Oh, wow. Definitely social media. So if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or the YouTube, feel free to follow me at Simrene Wright. So SIMRENEEWRITES.
There it
Everything.
is.
Sim Renee Wright.
Yes. Go find Sim
Oh,
Renee Wright. Okay. You can find me at alancpaul.com if you want to look up all my regular stuff. But God and Gigs is where you find everything God and Gigs. It doesn't matter on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, everywhere. God and Gigs, the God and Gigs show, our podcast is now in its 5th or 6th year, I think. Over 225 episodes. We've had Grammy winners, Stellar Award winners, Devil winners, Emmy winners, multi-million dollar selling entrepreneurs. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
that you could talk to literally can tell you how they do this the right way. godandgigs.com/podcast is where you find that. Okay, go find that. We also have a store out. I'm going to be redoing this store very soon, but if you want some merch, some cool stuff with God and Gigs gear on it, godandgigs.com/store. You can go check that out. Okay, go buy yourself a hoodie, get your t-shirt. We're going to get some more stuff there. And everything you need to find for business, godandgigs.com/toolkit. A lot of the products we've mentioned is also available at godandgigs.com/toolkit. If you want to start a podcast, you want to start your email list, you want to figure out how to buy things, how to sell things online, those products are all at godandgigs.com/toolkit. Okay, you can go check that out. But that's it, guys. We got to run. Sim and I got rehearsal in a little bit, and we're going to go right into this God and Gigs thing. Okay, so thank you so much for being a part of this live, this AMA. This was fun, and we're going to do it again sometime very soon. But Sim, until next time, until very soon, continue to become the artist and the creative that you were created to be. Thank you, guys.